What is going on with our secondary market right now? Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So I got to talk about the different things that are happening within the market itself, because things are a little bit strange if you've not been paying attention to what's been going on. So the beginning part is the investors are eyeing our game right now because the OCG side just did all of the unique numbered cards. When you create unique serialized numbering, eyes that certain parts of the community aren't going to want start the evil investor bros, as we're going to call them. I will say to the stores that have the backlog product and they've been wanting to sell it, this is a beautiful time for them. All right, like, it's bad for certain aspects, but also Yu-Gi-Oh's got a very notorious record for the people that are going to buy out this high rarity or this stuff. They think that they're going to turn around and flip this for a profit. Yu-Gi-Oh has taught us a great many a times that that's not going to be the case. So right now, there's a lot more eyes in the financial field that are on this game because of that potential. But we've known that for a while. So over the last couple of days, more OTS Ultimate Rares have been disappearing off of the market. Enemy Controller being one of the more interesting examples disappearing within the space, which is a little bit interesting of a decision on people's behalf. Things like Diabellstar, Harpy's Feather Duster was another one that started to disappear. But I mean, like, seeing sold copies coming in. So this is how they're doing it. They're also, they're bringing the price up. They're also buying some of the $60 copies of this so they can, quote unquote, put the line in the sand here. They'd be like, see, there's sales data at this point, and it's just like, this was a $10 to $15 card, and now I'm seeing a price point at, $85. Like, no, sorry. I seeing, Skill Drain Ultimate Rares going from, $10, $15 to $50. No, I don't believe that. Not at all. And it's a lot of, they're adapting to the market here for the pump and dump schemes. So that's pretty interesting to see, certain ultimate rares. Like, why did you go after Diabellstar? There's a quarter century of it. Big Welcome Labyrinth also being another of the hilarious pickups. Why that? When there's a QCR that's $5 to $6. Like, the QCR and the ultimate rare are both interchangeably desirable by your player base. So I'm not too sure what in the whack-a-mole is going on with that. So that's the first real push-up that has been interesting. The 25th anniversary booster boxes have been the other interesting one. If you've not paid attention to the LOB boxes, those have actually surged up to some incredibly interesting numbers, actually. Metal Raiders has also been on the back burner, coming up on the end. Spell Roller's coming up a little bit slower on the rear as well. But the 25th anniversary booster boxes have been gaining a decent uptick because, as much as you might not like it, they are considered collector's products. The first rarity collection has also been kind of gaining up a little bit of momentum as well, but it's not like it's doing like crazy amounts of push-up. The LOB set, I think, was probably the most stable uptick to be having. So classical sets like that are actually kind of doing decently. Like, they're actually gaining. Considering, like, more modern era Yu-Gi-Oh product usually hasn't been doing too good. There are always going to be a few cracks and examples doing well. And also looking at the OCG side of things, the sets that have the serialized cards, of course those products are going for some crazy amounts. I think boxes for the rivals are still 120, 140 plus. I'd have to double check that. But those are a little bit more rare. But then you've got sets like the oddities that just haven't really done things. For example, you know, we had the Tokyo Dome reprint sets. You know, they did the reprint on the premium pack. You know, that product isn't really going too crazy right now. You know, it's just the things that you would think would be rare. There's just, they weren't a hot commodity at the time. So you're just kind of looking at them kind of underperforming, or, you know, people just don't know they exist. I mean, that's always going to be another big thing, right? Like, for something to become collectible, it has to have the allure of collectability to it. Or it just is something that's massively underprinted. Look at the Kaiba briefcase as well. Kaiba briefcase, I think we have lowest listings at like $4,000 now. You know, if you'd bought those Kaiba briefcases at what, the $400 MSRP, and you held them, and you bought like, say, what, 10 of them? You know how much money you would be up right now if you could sell them for $4,000 a piece? Even if you'd sold them at $2,000, you'd 5x your money. Isn't that such a crazy investment to have thought about, looking back at like the landscape of this game? You know, just the opportunities that were available to you, because like those are the real money-making opportunities that people are just like, and this is why, like, we talk about specialty products. You know, Konami's not done a specialty product in a sec. I think even like the stainless steel gods at this point, I think are actually the recovering. And once again, I mean, like the stainless steel gods, you know what I read from this community? This is such a stupid product. Nobody's going to want to buy this. And I come back to the state of the stainless steel gods years later after that, and they're like, oh my god, the Etsy gods were so bad. But it's like, you look at it now and it's like, man, maybe you should have bought them. Maybe holding those would have been a great opportunity. Being biased and blinded by the I don't like this trend just stops people from seeing good opportunities within the scope of the market. And this is a great lesson. Do not let your preconceived biases block out potential opportunities that could be worthwhile. Though you should trust your instincts and your gut. Typically, patterns do build up and show great opportunities. Once again, for those of you in the back, do not let the flow of I don't like this ruin potential pickups, because that's such a crazy thing. I've seen plenty of videos throughout the years where people are like, oh, don't buy this product, but it's like, you look at the original star packs and you had great crusades from people talking about, you know, you should never buy this product, you know, it's worthless. And you look at some of these star foils that were available in some of these sets and you're just like, boy, were you wrong. You know, boy, you know, like, the opportunities were so crazy. Now, looking at these sets 10, 15 years later, if you picked those boxes up for $20 and held them, you won. Look at Retro Pack 1 sealed from, you know, Walmart. I actually have 10 of those sitting over here. I picked them up. Look at the state of those now. Look at Retro Pack 2. It's crazy. You know, it's spend a little bit of money, make some money over time. It's been the philosophy of the game, but that's where our market is right now. It's interesting to see where the dumb money is going. I obviously, I use that term very loosely, but I mean, like, it's kind of crazy to look at, like, where people are throwing things right now and trying to inflate certain sectors. Because it's not realistically possible to see sustainment, God, hard tongue twisters, to see sustainment in, you know, things like enemy controller at $80. Like, it's not going to happen, man. But natural growth is more of the process of stabilization. It's always been that way. You know, natural increases are good. Artificial is bad. I feel like I'm teaching an economics class here. So, welcome to the world of TCGs 101. So please, take a second to leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys. Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.